This is a 1988 S10 pickup truck. I got this truck. I did a remodeling project for my sister, and when I got done, suddenly she couldn't find any cash, so I ended up getting a pickup truck. The value that we assigned to it was $300 at the time, which, you know, if it'll run and go down a highway and you can make and you can meet a safety inspection, then it's worth $300, I guess. But I got it. I got this in 2000. So I've had this for 15 years. It's 2088 to 2015. It's 33. $27. I don't know. It's had quite a life. This started off down in Alabama, and the truck had been wrecked, and the guy that fixed it loved Bondo. The way that body work's done in Alabama is different from what it is up here. Bondo just don't stay fixed. But I didn't buy it to look good. I've got 225,000 miles on it. It was a good running truck. You know, I could on a bad day I got 33 miles to the gallon. The best that I ever got was 45, but that was when I put the new chip. I put the new chip in the computer when I had an ignition issue, and it goes through a learning process. So it started off running really good. Of course, the temperature was 40 some degrees and the wind was just right. Anyway, the electrical system, wires are shot. So the lights need to be rewired from the fuel door back. The brake lines are rotten and shot. Those all need to be replaced. But the front brakes still work. And I drove it like that for about a year because I just kept replacing sections of rotten tubing going back, and then as soon as I get it fixed, then it would blow out a little bit further back. So but what made me park it, about a year ago, it developed a quirk that the battery had to be above 10.5 volts for the fuel pump to make enough fuel pressure to make the fuel injection system work. And I dealt with that, but then suddenly even that didn't even work. So I got to replace the fuel pump in the fuel tank. Anyway, long story short, there's just one too many things wrong with it for me to keep fixing on it. And then this van became it was the same style deal. I got the van became partial payment for that ceramic tile. So next project is to remove everything from the toolbox, the cab, and the box, and then decide what I want to carry in the van. And I got started last night. I emptied the toolbox and the cab, and I got this pile. And now the project is to decide how much of this stays in the van and how much of it gets put in the building. Because up until the start of that ceramic tile project, I was doing a lot of farming, and last fall I lost one farming job because the ground that the farmer was farming, he lost control of it from his landlord, and it got sold out from underneath of him, which is understandable. He's 150 miles south of here, so farming two places was something that he always did because his dad started renting the place from the landlord in right after he got back from World War II, the 1945 time frame. And then when the parents both died, within 3 months the ground was sold. And then I worked for the other farmer, and he died this spring. His funeral was the same day, was my first day of work for the ceramic tile project. But I carried a lot of spare parts for the first farmer to fix his equipment if it broke down at the end of the field. Then you better have some parts to do repairs. Otherwise, you'll be making a bunch of trips back and forth. So there's a lot of stuff on here that is redundant, and I don't need to carry it with me anymore. Van has got a roof, so I don't need very many. I got all kinds of things here to make tie downs. I'm a collector of different kinds of rope and different kinds of cords, and that's not necessary anymore. And I'm also a collector of various pieces of iron. And I don't need to carry that stuff anymore either. So I got a building I can throw it in now. So my plan is to sort through that pile, and I got these containers that I'm going to put the big stuff in. And when these are closed up and the sidewalls are full enough that they're not going to flex, then the lids of these will hold quite a bit of weight. So with two containers in there, one in the front and one in the back, I can still carry 4x8 sheets of stuff. Won't be able to carry as much, but I can still carry it. And then I've got the hitch that I'm going to be putting in. The jack is in there, so I can jack up the back. The stands are in here, so I can set the wheels on it. So hitch, jack, and stands will be coming out, and then and then it's just a matter of sorting through this pile and deciding what stays and what goes. But yeah, that's this week's project. Hitch. Actually, it'll be this weekend project. Hitch, and this pile of stuff and everything else. So there's an update.